IV Egypt is the magic behind the company's best days. IV Egypt for training and consultancy and outsourcing. IV Egypt will show how doing the theory of constraints and bottlenecks in business to quick wins.
Removing bottlenecks. Now we're going to be talking about identifying and dealing with bottlenecks. Bottlenecks are one of the biggest threats in doing meaningful work faster. As you can see on the picture here, whenever you have connected stages through which the product has to go, everything depends on the bottleneck. The stage with the lowest capacity that clogs the whole system and does not let it do more. In the case shown in the picture, the bottleneck is the third guy. He's producing only 10, that is much lower than the rest are capable of delivering. The first two guys can work like hell, but big proportion of their work piles up in front of the second guy. The guy who works right after our bottleneck can relax because they work much faster than the bottleneck. So during many hours, they are simply not doing anything. Let's have a look at 3 examples to show you how to find the bottleneck. Bottleneck is always in the place where you have the lowest capacity, and the capacity of the bottleneck defines the capacity of the whole system. If the bottleneck can do only 3 pieces per hour, then the whole system is only able to exactly do 3 pieces per hour and nothing more. In example 1, the stage number 2 is actually the bottleneck, and it's delivering 5 items per hour. So the whole system is able to deliver 5 items per hour. In example number 2, the bottleneck moves to the stage first, and this is again 5, so the whole system is producing like 5 as well. And in example number 3, we have the bottleneck in stage number 3, which is producing 3 items per hour, and this is the lowest out of 3. So this is the capacity of the whole system. How to approach bottlenecks and how to work faster given that such bottlenecks probably exist. So first of all, you have to find what is the bottleneck, where is it? If you want to increase the productivity, it only makes sense to work on the bottleneck as it was shown in the previous example, because the increased capacity in other stages will not influence the capacity of the whole system. The rest is basically irrelevant. Second thing is to increase the throughput of the bottleneck by lowering the time needed for everything that goes through the bottleneck. So make the things go faster through the bottleneck. Have a look at what goes via your bottleneck and try to shorten the time they need of the bottleneck in order to finish the stage. Third thing you can do to increase the bottleneck capacity is to add new resources to the bottleneck. It can be people, tools, or machines. It can also take the form of extending the working hours. Number 4 is basically about adjusting everything to the bottleneck so it works at the same pace. If you cannot increase any more the bottleneck, you should not do more than the bottleneck is able to consume, because you are just wasting your time on building things that will not be finished due to the bottleneck. Now let's have a look at an example of a company producing content marketing for its customers. Here you have 4 stages. The first one is about researching topics for a post. The second one is about writing a post. Then you create illustration, and last but not least, you edit and modify the post and illustration and schedule the post to be delivered. For every stage there is one person, and in the small square I showed how many they can do in each and every stage, measured for simplicity in posts per week. So this person on this stage, we can research 20 posts. The guy who is writing can do 5 posts per week, whereas the illustrator can do illustration for 7 posts, and then in terms of editing we can do 10 posts a week. As you can see, writing a post, so this stage is the bottleneck, and the whole team of 4 people can only produce 5 posts per week. Since we know where the bottleneck is, so this is the writing a post, we can improve it. Let's see what happens if we speed up the writing process. For example, we teach the guy to write faster, to type faster. Maybe he's writing with just 2 fingers. Maybe we find him better tools, or we teach him to use shortcuts for the most popular words. So once we implement it, he can write 8 posts instead of 5. The bottleneck has been moved to the stage creation of illustration. So this is the new capacity of the whole system. So we can move to producing 7 posts per week instead of 5. In the next move, we will make the researcher do also part-time writing and making illustration, so he can support his colleagues. This way, the market research capacity will go down. So it went down from 20 to 10 posts per week. but we increased our capacity in writing and creating illustration. The bottleneck is again writing the post, but it's now 9 instead of the 7 we had in the previous move, and it's actually almost doubled what we had in the beginning. The same principle would apply if all activities were done only by you. In this case, it would mean that you should not do too much research and illustration, but rather improve the typing speed and match the number of illustration and researches you do to your capacity in writing. The other thing which is very important also is that if you have no impact on the process, so you are one of the guys mentioned above and you're just doing one part of the process and your boss does not want to listen to you, then simply do less. Identify the bottleneck and adjust your speed to his speed. On the other hand, if you are the bottleneck, then speed up, because the whole system basically depends on you.